Hey there, thanks for joining me today. This is Laura Lynn with Keep Inking Up. I'm an independent demonstrator for Stampin' Up! In San Antonio, Texas. And today I wanted to share a clean and simple card using the Seriously the Best stamp set. This stamp set is retiring this year, so after June 2nd, 2020, you will no longer be able to order this stamp set. As of today, May 23rd, it was still available. So hopefully if you would like to get this stamp set, you can get it if you order in the next several days. I really like this particular stamp set because of these large, solid image sentiments that look kind of like brushstroke lettering. I just really like that look. And they're nice, big, and bold sentiments, which makes it easy to complete a clean and simple card like we're going to make today. So I'm going to put this aside and we'll get started. I'm going to begin with a Highland Heather card base. So this is a half a sheet of cardstock, so it's 5.5 by 8.5 and folded in half. Y'all know, if you follow me, that I love purple, and Highland Heather is a beautiful purple color. I'm going to set that aside. Another purple color we're going to use is the Purple Posy, which is another, which is an in color that is not retiring this year. This will be around for another year, but it's a really pretty light purple. It goes very nicely with the Highland Heather, and I've already cut this out using the Stitched Shapes dies. This is the second to largest stitched circle. That particular set of dies has circles, squares, and ovals, so it is by far my most used set of dies because of all the different shapes. So it goes well with any kind of themed project that you have, and it coordinates well with any stamp set that you already have. Now, to stamp on this, I want to bring in my Stamparatus, and I'll explain why as I use it. I've already mounted my Hello Friend sentiment, which is the sentiment I want to use today. I've cut out a piece of the Purple Posy, so I have this piece already in here. So this is going to fit in here nicely, like a puzzle. And then I'm going to stamp or ink up I'm going to put my case underneath here. I'm going to ink up my Hello Friend sentiment using the gorgeous Grape, which is another purple. So we have 3 purples in this card. I'm going to make sure that my cardstock is in the corner there, and I'm going to ink up my sentiment. Now, you do not have to use the Stamparatus when using this stamp set if you don't happen to have it. That's quite all right, but I like to use it to make sure I get a nice solid image. Let me go ahead and pull this up. Well, no, I can't do that. Yes, I can. Here, we'll put it up this way. You can kind of see, hopefully, that it's not quite solid everywhere, and that's because I probably didn't ink up my stamp very well. Maybe my ink pad needs to be re-inked. But anyway, now that everything's still in the same spot, I can re-ink it and make it more solid. So maybe I'll make sure that I've got that really well inked. My ink pad probably needs to be re-inked. But because everything's in the same spot, it'll get darker and darker. You know what? I'm going to do it one more time because I can, to make it nice and bold, and because that's why I like this stamp set. There we go. Now, isn't that nice? It's nice and solid and bold. I think that looks lovely. So I'm going to set this aside, and I'm going to use this as a, let me get this out of the way. I'm going to use this leafy branch image to do some stamping on my card base, but I'm going to be placing, I want to find out where I'm going to put my sentiment. I'm going to put it right about there. So let me bring in my ink pad here. I'm going to bring that there. I'm going to go ahead and ink up my leafy branch so I can find out where, I guess I want it to be right about there. And I stamp down once, and then I'm going to stamp down often so I get a real blurred kind of look. I don't know if you can see that. It's kind of interesting. I'll put this back on here and see how I want it. And I'm going to ink up my branch again. And it looks like I can go right to the edge of the corner. And I'll do the same thing. And it gets just kind of a blurred image. And then I'm going to continue in the circle. Tap around. I'm going to ink it up, stamp it and then pounce around, just kind of makes it kind of fuzzy, kind of a look, and then I'm going to fill in the whole circle. I hope I'm explaining this well, but hopefully you can see by what I'm doing. It doesn't have to be very precise, but it just kind of creates a kind of a fuzzy floral look, I think. I think that's good. So now you can see when I put that on there. Isn't that pretty? It looks almost like a, kind of like a sunflower, doesn't it? I just think it's very unique looking. Go ahead and close up my ink pad because I don't think I need that anymore. So now I can add this circle to my card using Stampin' Dimensionals. I like to use 3 on circles. I'll peel off the backing of the dimensionals, and I will stick that down in the center of that florally kind of look that I have. Isn't that fun? Okay, I think I can put this out of the way. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little bit of ribbon. I used the Highland Heather, Gorgeous Grape, and Purple Posy cardstock and ink, and now I have this tricolor ribbon which has all of those 3 colors in it. And I'm going to add a little bit of ribbon to my card. So I'm going to pull it in here, and I'm just going to make a square knot because I want it to lay a little bit flat. A bow might add a little too much bulk, so I don't want to do that. So I'm going to go right over left. I don't want to twist the ribbon. And then left over right. I didn't give myself enough ribbon. Here, let me try again. Okay, right over left. And then left over right. I don't want to waste ribbon, but I want to have enough to work with. And then I'll pull it like that. I'm going to move that up toward the top. Then I'll use my ribbon scissors. I put a little piece of ribbon around my snips that I use only for ribbon, because once you use paper snips on paper, it starts to dull the scissors. I remember growing up, I don't know if you did, but I remember growing up, my mom had fabric scissors, and oh my goodness, if you used those fabric scissors on anything, she would just get so angry. And now I understand as an adult. But so I have a specific set of snips with ribbon on them to tell myself not to use these with paper. So isn't that cute? I think it's a really cute card. Oh, you know what? I'm going to bring this back in to protect my surface here. The last thing that I want to do is I want to add a little shimmer. So what I have in here in this spritz bottle is a little bit of our Champagne Mist shimmer paint and I believe 70% rubbing alcohol. But I'm not going to spray with it. I'm not going to use the mist that way. What I'm going to do is I'm going to shake it up really well so I get the shimmer spread around in the alcohol. And then I'm just going to unscrew it, and I'm going to use the end and just tap onto my card to add some splotches all around my card. If I want more, I'll stick a little bit more in there. And because of that alcohol, it'll dry fairly quickly. It also smells like alcohol, but it'll dry pretty quickly, but hopefully you can see how that shimmers on there. It's just kind of sprinkled around there. Rather than spraying it, I've just got some large dots on there. You could do the same with a Wink of Stella pen and just smack your Wink of Stella on there, on something hard, but I think I love that little sparkly look. So isn't that a nice, clean, and simple card? Now I do have a sample. I'm gonna put this out of the way. I do have a sample that I made when designing the card, and in this one I added 3 basic rhinestones. So you tell me which one you like in the comments. Do you like the one with the rhinestones, or do you like the one without? Now that I'm looking at them, I kind of like the one that does not have the rhinestones. I tell you what, when I made this card, I put the rhinestones on first because I wanted a little bit of bling, but I didn't feel like that was quite enough, and then I added the shimmer, and I really liked the shimmer. So I do think that I like this card a little bit better. But please tell me which one is your favorite in the comments. So anyway, I hope you found this video inspirational, and you'll want to make a clean and simple card yourself. And you'll also want to get the Seriously the Best stamp set while you can, before it is no longer available. So thank you again so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.